Have you seen a dramatic increase in your Delmarva Power bill? And what happens when Barstool reviews your pizza? We are also seeing a potential mass exodus of tech companies out of Delaware and what that means for you as a Delawarean. All that and more on today's episode of Your Delaware. Hello everyone, welcome back to Your Delaware. I'm Jen, your Delaware Realtor. Like I just said, we have a lot to talk about. If you are one of those people that live within the region of Delmarva Power, you may have seen your utility bills skyrocket. And when I say skyrocket, I mean, I've seen some people complain that they have seen their bills double, triple, even quadruple. And if you have been anywhere on social media, whether that be in the moms groups or Smyrna Clayton residents or MOT page or basically any of the other pages on Facebook, you have seen the complaint after complaint after complaint of the Delmarva Power bills. I mean, I've actually seen people say, I'm going to sell my house and move back into city of Dover or town of Smyrna or wherever else where you don't have Delmarva Power, or move to Kent County where you have Delaware Co-op. Because Delmarva Power has, in an attempt to try and become more transparent, they have started to break down what all of the fees are. And the fees, let's just say there is a service fee plus there is a delivery fee. And sometimes in some cases, the delivery fee is actually higher than your actual usage. And if you call Delmarva Power, unfortunately, they don't answer your question. They give you the absolute runaround. So you'll have your usage and it's probably the same that you used last month, or maybe it's slightly higher. Or if you go back a year, it's maybe around the same that it was this time last January. And Delmarva Power will tell you, oh, well, it's just been colder, so you've been using more electric. False. Sometimes, in some cases, you're actually using less. And so what's happening is that you have this very nice delivery charge, and Delmarva Power will tell you that it is because that is the infrastructure needed and the wear and tear on the infrastructure. And that's what that fee is based off of your usage. So if it's based off of your usage, why is it more expensive than your usage? Like, people have literally gone insane over this. I'm going to be completely honest. Like, I have seen so many people freaking out, and I get it. When you get a $600 bill and you're used to $200, and then the next month it's another $600, $700 bill. I mean, that adds up. So they've added these fees, even though they're saying that the fees have been there forever, because they're being more transparent. They broke it down into, what a distribution fee is and the service fee. And then let's just add another dollar in there because, there's just fee because we can add fees. The problem is that Delmarva Power is a monopoly. There is no other option that I have or anyone else in the Delmarva Power region has to get electric from anyone else. And if you have solar, in some cases, I've seen people complain that they're not even getting paid for the solar, the energy that they're producing to put on the grid. They're not getting a credit for it. So I've also seen other people say that they've unplugged everything and somehow their bills are actually more. So something has to be done. With us being hit hard with, increased prices in groceries and housing and transportation and health insurance and whatever else, car payments. I get it. You don't always need a car payment, but in today's day and age, it's very difficult to find a used car that you don't have a car payment. So I will say that with increased energy bills on top of, especially in the winter, it's gotten out of control. And then we already talked about last week, people they want to increase the school taxes and they want to increase the property taxes. It's okay, you're kind of hitting everyone from every angle. And when it gets to that, I think that's a problem. So essentially people have been complaining to our like public works advocates. So there have been letters that have been sent to Delmarva Power. So essentially, the Senate Republican caucus, also they released a statement on Friday. So they said, over the past week, we have received emails, letters, social media messages, and phone calls from constituents regarding dramatic increases to their utility bills. Some increase was to be expected due to the frigid temperatures our state has experienced throughout January, but many Delmarva Power ratepayers have expressed deep concerns about their bills nearly doubling or more compared to the previous month. All right, so then it says we've been in contact with the Public Service Commission and liaisons with Delmarva Power requesting answers. Although most increases are likely attributed to the extremely cold weather, which I do not disagree with them. Yes, it has been extremely cold. We did have a polar vortex come in and we had, temperatures really like in the single digits. But I can honestly say that even on that, like if I look back at my previous bills, I have, I've used basically the same usage, and our bill went up quite a bit. like a lot. Essentially, we're kind of just like suffering here with having to pay these insanely high energy bills. And it does not seem like there's any relief in sight right now. But basically, I'm hoping that our elected officials can help us in trying to get a better answer than what Delmarva Power is giving us. But yes, if you are one of those people, I know that there has been, like, I signed a petition. I know that there has been a couple other like Facebook groups going around on just trying to get together, like all together and fight this. Just because like it's insane. I had just last January, I had quite a few people sell their houses because they were, 55 plus, and ultimately they just could not afford the Delmarva Power bill anymore. And that's awful that they had to decide whether to sell their homes or stay in it because they couldn't afford the electric bill. So I know that this has been a huge problem, and I'm hoping that something is solved here. Something. All right, moving right along. So just want to touch on something that we have talked about in multiple episodes. So the Dover Civic Arena could be the silver lining after Harrington Rink announces closure. So I know we talked about this last week. The Delaware State Fair is going to be closing the Harrington Ice Rink. And it looks like the silver lining in all of this is that the Dover Civic Arena, which has been basically in the works for 2 years now since the Delaware Thunder lost its contract with Delaware State Fair. And it seems like because Harrington is closing, this has put more like energy, focus, and urgency into the Dover Civic Arena. So that could be the silver lining. Maybe it will be pushed to get done. It is supposed to be in Shuttle Park in Dover, and they are trying to do it where it would not cost taxpayers any money. I know we talked about last week that they had applied to get some money out of the fund for the Delaware tourism, the sports tourism. So hoping that because a lot of people are very upset about the Delaware State Fair closing the arena, the ice rink, maybe this will push the Dover Civic Center arena. I keep calling it center, but it's arena. So hopefully, like if you are someone that wants to be involved, this article actually shows how you can get involved, because they plan to meet with state leaders on February 4th, followed by a meeting on February 6th with organizations impacted by the Harrington Rink closure to discuss the future of the project. So if you are one of those people, it says that our hope is to be up by next fall or winter. Wow, they better get a move on if that's the case. So if you are one of those people and you would like to get involved, this article actually tells you how you can get involved. All right, so something else that we talked about last week was that Barstool had finally come to Delaware to review some of our pizza. And we had talked about how he had gone to Grotto's. And I said, please don't judge us based off of Grottos. But there was another place that they actually went to. It is Arugula. I think that's how you say brewing company. Argla. I'm not really sure how you say that. So it says at Petro's Pizza, which is off of Kirkwood Highway. And Dave from Barstool Sports went and took a bite out of their pizza. And essentially what happened is he posted it. I believe he said he posted his video around 6 p.m. on Thursday, January 16th. And the owner says that dizzying is the proper word for it. In 30 years that he's been making pizza, I've never made more pizza than this. So it says the power of one bite. In the week since the Pizzeria Brewery got its thumbs up review, the owner estimates pizza sales are up 65 to 75%. With overall sales up 55%. That's crazy. It says that's why he's there just after 7 a.m. each day to make extra dough they have been needing each day. Whew. Wow. He said it's been very tricky to gauge how much they need now that the rhythm of their usual business is all but a memory. So I can attest to this. So I was the person that would do all of our ordering at the pizza shop. And it was very, very difficult to gauge how much dough and cheese and sauce we were going to need and all of the toppings. And we had a very extensive menu. So there were certain things after the first year, there were certain things that I knew to look forward to. And I knew that I needed to up our ordering, right? So Sea Witch, 4th of July, the Black Friday, basically when they did the tree lighting, Polar Bear Plunge, Super Bowl. There were certain things that I knew, obviously summer too, but there were certain events that were happening in Rehoboth that I knew we needed to have more sauce, cheese, and dough, right? But for something like this, it would be very difficult to, gauge how much I would need. And it just says right here, it says, for example, they don't usually experience too much of a bump in sales due to football games. Really? See, that was the complete opposite. That we had a bump in sales with football games. He said, even though he made extra dough for the day of the Philadelphia Eagles big NFC championship game win, and they still ran out by kickoff. Oh, wow. That's and that's ultimately because of Barstool, but, that's crazy. And I'm very, very excited for them. So yeah, it says that Petro's Pizza, I'm just going to call it that, is located at 2667 Kirkwood Highway in Milltown near St. Mark's High School. He said it's been a real journey and a roller coaster. After all, their hidden gem just had quite a coming out party. Wow. And they said that they have had people come from out of state, all over Pennsylvania, all over Delaware, New Jersey, that's awesome. That just shows you how important it is for small businesses and reviews and getting your name out there. This is why I push to have local business spotlights on this show, and also just on social media in general, because I know as a small business owner, not only for the pizza shop or as a real estate agent, it is so important, reviews, and just getting your name out there, because you don't know what you don't know. So that's super exciting. And I'm very, very excited for them. And I'm glad that they have seen a positive, and they've seen positive feedback for, their Barstool review, and also just supporting your local pizza shop. I can tell, like I said, I know this all from experience. It is so important. Word of mouth is so it helps the business so much. So do not ever, if you come to me, I actually had, I said before, I had comments of people saying what pizza to try. I'm definitely going to go try them, just because I also want to help get their name out, especially if it's good pizza in Delaware. So I definitely want to try, what is it again? Pietro's Pizza. So anyway, all right. So moving right along, Delaware faces exodus of tech companies. So if you have not been paying attention, or if you don't know this, Delaware, it seems like almost every business in the United States is incorporated in Delaware. And that is because we have such business friendly tax laws, corporate tax advantages. And so it seems like everyone, if a very large company is incorporated in Delaware, except if you are Tesla and SpaceX. So Elon Musk has pulled Tesla and SpaceX, and they are now incorporated in Texas. The reason being is that I don't even know when this happened. I'm going to say this time last year, because I do remember this. Essentially, Elon with the stakeholders had certain things that he needed to hit within the company, and then the stakeholders were going to give him a $56 billion compensation package. Well, a small group of stakeholders basically sued him or sued that, and essentially a Delaware judge, because they were incorporated in Delaware, ruled that the record-breaking $56 billion compensation package was excessive. And so then Elon went on his platforms and said everyone in any large business should pull out of Delaware. And we are actually seeing that. Meta is apparently considering moving from Delaware to Texas as well. So that means it would be Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. Dropbox is another one that has decided that they're considering moving to Nevada. And you're probably wondering, well, why is everyone going to Texas or Nevada? And it seems like they have more favorable legal and regulatory environments for businesses, particularly in taxation and corporate governance. So what does this mean for you as a Delawarean, and why should we care? Well, I can tell you that with most of the businesses being incorporated in Delaware, that means that is a huge part of our budget. Just like the transfer tax for real estate when you purchase a home or you sell a home, that 4% that I always talk about for the transfer tax is also another large portion of Delaware's budget. So if Delaware, I don't want to say broke, but if Delaware, doesn't have the money, essentially somehow that needs to be made up. So whether that be from property taxes or it really would be to property taxes, because we don't have sales tax. And so that's how it's going to be made up. Or they're going to raise the transfer tax, which at 4%, we are already the highest in the nation. So we don't really want that. But in an article that I just read, the governor is actually saying that they're trying to get those companies that are either thinking about moving or have already moved to come back. I'm not saying that I have any idea what they could do, whether it be that we somehow incentivize them to come back. I'm not really sure. But we do actually not want all of these tech companies to do a mass exodus of Delaware. So if I will keep an eye on this, and I will let you know what we're doing, like what Delaware is trying to do. I will keep an eye on this and let you know, but hopefully we can get these companies to come back. I'm so glad that if you made it this far in this episode, that you are still here. And I really hope that you enjoyed this episode. If you are looking to purchase or sell your home in Delaware, I would absolutely love the opportunity to help you. My information is down below in the description. So feel free to send me an email, or there is a link for my calendar and we can get set up with a one-on-one buyer consultation. Once again, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give me a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you on next week's. Hey, if you are thinking about moving to Delaware, you should definitely check out this video right here. And if you would love to tour Delaware new construction homes with me, check out this playlist right here. And don't forget, subscribe to my channel.